section. Mangalacharan, I mean.
Prabhu, actually, due to some circumstances, okay, I will read the Mangalacharan. Omadyanti mirandhasya jnana shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति सुपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुनश्वंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे.
Very nice recitation, Prabhu. But just two things to add. Before you start Om Ajnanatimirandasya, you're supposed to chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 3 times. All right? And after Vansha Kalpatarubhyasya, we're supposed to chant Prabhupada Pranam Mantra. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane. Once. And then we are supposed to do. For example, if you go to any Tattva Prabhu's lecture and see the Mangalacharan part, you can just see. But very nice recitation. Thank you for reciting. You can also read if you have time. You can read also the Bhagavad Gita. You can start. Hare Krishna Gauri
Hare
Shakti Prabhu
Krishna,
Dandar
Hare
Pranam Jai Prabhupada.
Prabhu,
Hare Krishna Shrikant Prabhu as well. Dandar Pranam all goes to Prabhupada. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hey Prabhu,
Maharaj joined Prabhu.
Okay, who wants to read first? Haribo.
Semi Prabhu ki jai.
Bang Prabhu ki jai. I think this is chapter 5, text 15.
Can I start?
Yes, Prabhu.
Nadate kasyachit papam na chaiva shukritam vibhu ajane navartam jnanam tenam muhyanti jantva. Never adate accepts kasyat chit anyone's papam sin nor cha also eva certainly sukrutam pious activities vibhu the supreme lord ajanena agnena by true by ignorance avartam covered jnanam knowledge tena by that muyanti bewildered jantavaha the living entities. Translation. Nor does the Supreme Spirit assume anyone's sinful or pious activities. Embodied beings, however, are bewildered because of the ignorance which covers their real knowledge. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Sanskrit word Vibhu means the Supreme Lord, who is full of unlimited knowledge, riches, strength, fame, beauty, and renunciation. He is always satisfied in himself, undisturbed by sinful or pious activities. He does not create a particular situation for any living entity, but the living entity bewildered by ignorance. Prabhu, little Prabhu, one line. Okay. Bewildered by ignorance, desires to be put into certain condition of life, and thereby his chain of action and reaction begins. A living entity, he is by superior nature, full of knowledge. Nevertheless, he is prone to be influenced by ignorance due to his limited power. The Lord is omnipotent, but the living entity is not. The Lord is Vibhu or omniscient, but the living entity is anu or atomic. Because he is a living soul, he has the capacity to desire by his free will. Such a desire is fulfilled only by the omnipotent Lord. And so, when the living entity is bewildered in his desires, the Lord allows him to fulfill those desires. But the Lord is never responsible for the actions and reactions of the particular situation which may be desired. Being in a bewildered condition, therefore, the embodied soul identifies himself with the circumstantial material body and becomes subjected to the temporary misery and happinesses of life. The Lord is the constant companion of the living entity as Paramatma or the super soul, and therefore he can understand the desires of the individual soul as one can smell the flavor of a flower by being near it. Desire is a subtle desire is a subtle form of conditioning of the living entity. The Lord fulfills his desires as he deserves. Man purposes and God disposes. The individual is not, therefore, omnipotent in fulfilling his desires. The Lord, however, can fulfill all desires, and the Lord, being neutral to everyone, does not inferior with the desires of the minute independent living entities. However, when one desires Krishna, the Lord takes special care and encourage one to desire in such a way that one can attain to him and be eternally happy. The Vedic hymns therefore declares, Yesha yuhe eva sadhu eva sadhu karma karyati tam yamibhyo lokebhya unistisate uni unisate एष येषु एव साधु कर्म कर्यन्ति यम यमदो निनिसते अजनो जन्तुर अनिसो यम आत्मनः सुख दुःखयोः ईश्वर ईश्वर प्रीतो गच्छित स्वर्गम स्वर्गम वश्वभरम एव च. How to, like, what tune it is, Prabhu?
Prabhu, I don't know.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay. The Lord engages the living entity in pious activities, so he may be elevated. The Lord engages him in impious activities, so he may be go to hell. The living entity is completely depend in his distress and happiness. By the will of the Supreme, he can go to heaven or hell. As a cloud is driven by the air. Therefore, the embodied soul, by his immemorial desire to avoid Krishna consciousness, causes his own bewilderment. Consequently, although he is constitutionally eternal, blissful, and cognizant, due to the littleness of his existence, he forgets his constitutional position of service to the Lord and is thus entrapped by nescience. And under the spell of ignorance, the living entity claims that the Lord is responsible for his conditional existence. The Vedanta Sutras also confirms this. Vishwamya Niragarye Vaishamya Nairgrahene Na Sapi Kshetava Tatha Hi Darshati. The Lord neither hates nor likes anyone, though he appears to. Text. Oh, so many members are there. Okay. 10 members. Okay. Who wants to continue?
I can continue if you want, Prabhu.
Haribo.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Vivek Prabhu.
Thank you, Vivek, Prabhu.
Thank you.
ज्ञानेन तु तद् अज्ञानं येषां नशिताम् आत्मनः तेषाम् आदित्यवत् ज्ञानं प्रकाश्यति तत्परम्. Synonyms: Jnanena, by knowledge. Two, but tat, that. Ajnanam, nescience. Yesham, of those. Nashitam is destroyed. Atmanaha, of the living entity. Tesham, of their. Adityavat, the rising sun. Sorry, like the rising sun. Jnanam, knowledge. Prakashyati, discloses. Tat Param, and Krishna consciousness. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
When however, one is enlightened with the knowledge by which nescience is destroyed, then his knowledge reveals everything, as the sun lights up everything in the daytime. Hmm. Purport. Those who have forgotten Krishna must certainly be bewildered, but those who are in Krishna consciousness are not bewildered at all. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvam Jnana Plavena Jnanaihi Sarva Karmani and Nahi Jnanena Sadrisham. Knowledge is always highly esteemed. And what is that knowledge? Perfect knowledge is achieved when one surrenders unto Krishna. As is stated, as is said in the 7th chapter, 19th verse, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. After passing through many, many births, when one, perfect in knowledge, surrenders unto Krishna, or when one attains Krishna consciousness, then everything is revealed to him. As the sun reveals everything in the daytime, the living entity is bewildered in so many ways. For instance, when he thinks himself God, unceremoniously, he actually falls into the last snare of nescience. If a living entity is God, then how can he become bewildered by nescience? Does God become bewildered by nescience? If so, then nescience or Satan is greater than God. Real knowledge can be obtained from a person who is in perfect Krishna consciousness. Therefore, one has to seek out such a bona fide spiritual master and under him learn what Krishna consciousness is. Hmm. The spiritual master can drive away all nescience, as the sun drives away darkness. Even though a person may be in full knowledge that he is not this body but is transcendental to the body, he still may not be able to discriminate between the soul and the super soul. However, he can know everything well if he cares to take shelter of the perfect, bona fide Krishna conscious spiritual master. One can know God and one's relationship with God only when one actually meets a representative of God. A representative of God never claims that he is God, although he is paid all the respect ordinarily paid to God because he has knowledge of God. One has to learn the distinction between God and the living entity. Lord Sri Krishna therefore stated in the second chapter 2.12 that every living being is individual and that the Lord also is individual. They were all individuals in the past, they're individuals at present, and they will continue to be individuals in the future, even after liberation. At night, we see everything as one in the darkness. But in the day when the sun is up, we see everything in its real identity. Identity with individuality in spiritual life is real knowledge. Hmm. Identity with individuality in spiritual life is real knowledge. Text 17. Tad buddhayastat atmanas tan nishtastat parayanah gachanti apunar avritim jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha. Synonyms. Tad buddhayaha, one whose intelligence is always in the Supreme. Tad atmanaha, one whose mind is always in the Supreme. Tat nishtaha, whose mind is only meant for the Supreme. Tat parayanaha, who has completely taken shelter of him. Gachanti, goes. Apunaha, avritim, liberation. Jnana, knowledge. Nirdhutha, cleanses. Kalmashaha, misgivings. Translation. When one's intelligence, mind, faith, and refuge are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation. When one's intelligence, mind, faith, and refuge are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation. Purport: the supreme transcendental truth is Lord Krishna. The whole Bhagavad Gita centers around the declaration of Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. That is a version of all Vedic literature. Paratattva means the supreme reality, who is understood by the knowers of the supreme as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Bhagavan, or the supreme personality of Godhead, is the last word in the absolute. There is nothing more than that. The Lord says, Mattaha parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya. Impersonal Brahman is also supported by Krishna. Brahmano pratishtaham. Therefore, in all ways, Krishna is the supreme reality. One whose mind, intelligence, and faith and refuge are always in Krishna, or in other words, one who is fully in Krishna consciousness is undoubtedly washed clean of all misgivings and is in perfect knowledge in everything concerning transcendence. A Krishna conscious person can thoroughly understand that there is duality, simultaneous identity, and individuality in Krishna, and equipped with such transcendental knowledge, one can make steady progress on the path of liberation. Can I read one more verse? Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu Haribol.
Thank you very much. Text 18. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Sunichaiva Swapakecha Nita Samadarshinaha.
What it means?
The the self-realized person, in virtue of true knowledge, sees the dog eater,
Yes, Prabhu.
Chandala, the elephant, and the Brahmana in the same position, Pandita Samadarshinaha.
Yes, Prabhu
Yeah.
Haribol.
This is just a Uttamadhikari, right, Prabhu? Who
Yeah,
sees-
this refers to the Uttamadhikari, yes. Like Sami Prabhu, All right.
Okay.
Synonyms: Vidya, education; Vinaya, gentleness; Sampanne, fully equipped; Brahmane, in the Brahmana; Gavi, in the cow; Hastini, in the elephant; Shuni, in the dog; Cha, and Eva, certainly; Swapake, in the dog eater, the outcast; Cha, respectively; Panditaha, those who are so wise; Samadarshinaha, do see with equal vision. This is fifth chapter, which text? Text number 18, 518, right? All right, 518, Pandita Samadarshinaha. All right. Translation: the humble sage, by virtue of true knowledge, sees with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater.
Yes, Prabhu.
Outcast.
You're true. This is me.
Yeah. The humble sage, by the virtue of true
Prabhu,
knowledge,
like
sees
that.
with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, elephant, a dog, and dog eater. Hare Krishna, Jai Prabhu, Dhanar Pranam.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Jat Prabhu, Dandat
Dhanar
Pranam.
Pranam, all wish to Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Bhaktajar Prabhu, please accept our humble obeisances of glories to Srila
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna, Jai
Hare
Prabhu. Please
Krishna,
accept my
Jati
obeisances
Vasi,
of Srila
Dandat
Prabhupada.
Pranam, Jai
Bhakta
Shri Prabhupada.
Jagannath,
Samsar Guru Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
Welcome to the
Bhakta
reading.
Jagannath, Haribol.
Haribo.
Purport: a Krishna conscious person does not make any distinction between species or castes. The Brahmana and the outcast may be different from the social point of view, or a dog, a cow, or an elephant may be different from the point of view of species. But these differences of body are meaningless from the viewpoint of a learned transcendentalist. This is due to the relationship to the Supreme, for the Supreme Lord, by his plenary portion as Paramatma, is present in everyone's heart. Such an understanding of the Supreme is real knowledge. As far as the bodies are concerned in different castes or different species of life, the Lord is equally kind to everyone because he treats every living being as a friend, yet maintains himself as Paramatma regardless of the circumstances of the living entities. The Lord as Paramatma is present both in the outcast and in the Brahmana, although the body of a Brahmana and that of an outcast are not the same. The bodies are material productions of different modes of material nature, but the soul and the super soul within the body are of the same spiritual quality. The similarity in the quality of the soul and the super soul, however, does not make them equal in quantity, for the individual soul is present only in that particular body, whereas Paramatma is present in each and every body. A Krishna conscious person has full knowledge of this, and therefore he is truly learned and has equal vision. The similar characteristics of the soul and super soul are that they are both conscious, eternal, and blissful. But the difference is that the individual soul is conscious within the limited jurisdiction of the body, whereas the super soul is conscious of all bodies. The super soul is present in all bodies without distinction. Thank you very much for letting me read. Swami Prabhu and all the devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Haribol.
Thank you so much, Karti Prabhu. Haribol. Okay, what is the time? Oh, we can read still a few more.
I can read, Prabhu. It's okay.
Please read. Thank you so much.
Text 19. Ihaiva tairjitah sargo yesham samye sthitam manah nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmad brahmani te sthitah. Sitaha. Iha. Synonyms. Iha. In this life. Eva. Certainly. Taihi. By them. Jitah. Conquered. Sargah. Birth and death. Yesham. Of those. Samye. In equanimity. Sthitam. So situated. Manaha. Mind. Nirdosham. Flawless. He. Certainly. Samam. In equanimity. Equanimity. Brahma. The Supreme. Tasmat. Therefore. Brahmani. In the Supreme. They. Sthitaha. Are situated. Translation. Those whose minds are established in sameness and equanimity have already conquered the conditions of birth and death. They are flawless like Brahman, and thus they are already situated in Brahman. Purport. Equanimity of mind, as mentioned above, is a sign of self-realization. Those who have actually attained to such a stage should be considered to have conquered material conditions, specifically birth and death. As long as one identifies with this body, he is considered a conditioned soul. But as soon as he is elevated to the stage of equanimity through realization of self, he is liberated from conditional life. In other words, he is no longer subject to take birth in this material world, but can enter into the spiritual sky after his death. The Lord is flawless because he is without attraction or hatred. Similarly, when a living entity is without attraction or hatred, he also becomes flawless and eligible to enter into the spiritual sky. Such persons are to be considered already liberated, and their symptoms are described below. Na prahasset priyam prapya nodvijet prapya cha priyam sthirabuddhir asammudo brahmavid brahmani sthitah. Synonyms. Na. Never. Praharsyet. Rejoice. Priyam. Pleasant. Prapya. Achieving. Na. Does not. Udvijet. Agitated. Prapya. Obtaining. Cha. Also. Apriyam. Unpleasant. Sthirabuddhihi. Self-intelligent. Asammudah. Unbewildered. Brahmavid. One who knows the Supreme perfectly. Brahmani. In the transcendence. Sthitaha. Situated. Translation. A person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, unbewildered, and who knows the signs of God is to be understood as already situated in transcendence. Purport. Transcendence, okay. Purport. The symptoms of the self-realized person are given herein. The first symptom is that he is not illusioned by the false identification of the body with his true self. He knows perfectly well that he is not this body, but is the fragmental portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is therefore not joyful in achieving something, nor does he lament in losing anything which is related to his body. This steadiness of mind is called sthira buddhi, or self-intelligence. He is therefore never bewildered by mistaking the gross body for the soul, nor does he accept the body as permanent and disregard the existence of the soul. This knowledge elevates him to the station of knowing the complete science of the absolute truth, namely Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. He thus knows his constitutional position perfectly well, without falsely trying to become one with the Supreme in all respects. This is called Brahman realization or self-realization. Such steady consciousness is called Krishna consciousness. Wow. Definitely not in this life.
Like Sundar Gopal Prabhu and
Yes, Prabhu.
Prahlad Prabhu, all the devotees, they are like,
Yes, Prabhu. They are.
you know, undisturbed by the dualities.
Yes, Prabhu. Thing is, when
Prabhu
Prahlad
always
Prabhu
says
told
that.
about.
Yeah, sorry, Prabhu, you're saying?
No, Prahlad Prabhu also told about Tatved Prabhu's equanimity in all circumstances, especially when he was in Mumbai and they were facing difficulties traveling outside India. Prahlad Prabhu was saying how
Yeah.
His Grace Tatved Prabhu was very unflustered.
Yes. Actually, Prahlad Prabhu always says sometimes, I mean, uh, in the classes or even personally when devotees speak to him, at least when I've spoken to him, I'm sure when other devotees speak to him, he also says this. But as far as I've spoken to him and I've heard in his classes, I mean, I have a problem, and sometimes the devotees go reveal their mind to him because the dualities is problem, right? Good, bad, this happened, this person did that to me, or I could not do this duality, whatever. Prabhu always says you should come out of the dualities, He always says this, that come out of the
Hmm.
duality, always.
Yes, Prabhu. It's a very nice point.
Yeah, this exact one. See, actually, yeah, like Prabhu was saying that in gain or loss, in praise or in insult, you should be with the same mind, you know,
Hmm.
with glory or with the defame. Keep going, do your service, keep doing whatever you're doing in Krishna consciousness. Wow, that's
And
what.
this is possible only when somebody is unattached, right, Prabhu? Unattached to anything material.
Yeah, yeah, especially in the temple, it's easier to
Hmm.
after many years, it, all the devotees can come to that platform, or I don't know. Let's see. By the mercy of Prabhupada can.
Yes, Prabhu. I remember there is a verse that says seeing good and bad qualities itself is a bad quality. Something like this. There is a verse like this.
Which was, Prabhu?
I'm trying to find it, but I'm not sure if I can find it. It
You
says
mean about the criticism, right? That was no about criticizing the good qualities in the material world and the bad qualities,
yes,
rejecting
Prabhu.
it, something like that.
Yes, Prabhu. Itself is a bad quality.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I also remember. I don't know. It's in Bhagavatam, right? But
Yes,
which one? I don't know. But it says that if anybody is praising any materialist for his good qualities, he will fall down. If anybody is rejecting the material, I mean, saying something bad about the materialist, he'll also fall down.
yes,
Because one should understand the whole material world is bad. And if he's praising the materialist, that means that he wants to get the quality of the materialist. Like, for example, if I'm saying, oh, Messi is the best football player, then I want actually some of his qualities so that I can dominate over other living entities. So it's based on envy that way. If I'm
Karti
saying no,
Prabhu,
this
don't
guy
you,
is very
Hmm.
yes, true.
Karti Prabhu, don't you have the sloka Prabhu? You just caught
Unfortunately, I
my
don't.
ear. Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah, I
Usually
don't
we
know which
make
sloka,
mistakes
but
and
I
we-
remember this part.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, but the purpose also says that if I'm criticizing somebody materialist, that hey, look at this guy, doesn't know anything. That means it's also based on envy, right? That means I think I'm better than him. But
Oh,
why I should be like this? Both ways is bad.
Oh.
If I want to praise the
Yeah.
materialist,
first, Prabhu.
that means that is also yes, bro.
Uh, please continue, Prabhu.
No, you were saying something actually.
Sure,
Did I
sure.
interrupt you?
No,
You
Prabhu.
said something attractive, Karti Prabhu.
Yes, please continue.
All
By
right.
saying.
Yeah. I'm so sorry for. Anyway, so if I'm praising a materialist, that is also based on envy. If I'm basically criticizing a materialist, that is also based on envy. If I'm praising, that means, for example, if I'm saying that, all right, Messi is the best football player in the world, that means I like the qualities he has to defeat the other team, right? And then when the other team is losing, he's happy and celebrating. Isn't that envy? And if I'm praising those qualities, that means I also want to be like him. Or in other words, I want his qualities so that I can dominate over the other living entities. And if I'm criticizing somebody, that means my false ego is getting more puffed up. But the real guy, the real transcendental person, he says both good and bad in the material world are both bad. So let me completely reject the material world completely, saying both of this is rascaldom and fix my
Mhm.
consciousness on Krishna.
Yes,
That
Prabhu.
was actually
Mano
the thing I
Dharma.
remembered. Ah, yes, bro. Oh, you found the verse, is it?
Yes, Prabhu. It's Mano Dharma.
I need to screenshot this one, Prabhu. Just wait.
Dvaide Badra Badra Jnana Sabba Mano Dharma. Ei Bala, Ei Manda, Ei Sabba Brahma.
Haribo.
Is this Bengali?
Yes, bro. Is Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Yes, Prabhu.
Oh my god. How are you asking this question?
I tested you, Prabhu.
Can I?
Yes,
Hmm.
Please read.
Nice, Prabhu.
In the material world, conceptions of good and bad are all mental speculations. Therefore, saying this is good and this is bad is all a mistake. I Prabhu, this is sloka of the week.
Haribol, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
This one is for the week, Prabhu. I've never heard such a thing, you know. It makes sense.
Okay, slow. This is short purport. We can read it.
Thank you, Karthi Prabhu. This is nice verse.
Always,
Haribol,
Prabhupada,
Karti.
always to Sami
Maharaj,
Prabhu for finding the.
Maharaj Karti Prabhu ki jai.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Thank
But should I also read the
You, you're,
purport?
you're
Or you want
praising
to
a
read?
materialist. You're praising a materialist, Prabhu. You should not do this.
Who's teaching me spirituality? But Prabhu, you're always advising us to go to Krishna. You're not a materialist.
Prabhu, praising a devotee is good, Prabhu.
Prabhu, I'm not a devotee, Prabhu. You should
Yeah,
praise Sami
Karti Prabhu
Prabhu,
is
Labahan
devotee.
Prabhu,
He usually,
Gaurav Shakti
he
Prabhu. You should
usually
see.
gives it.
If Gaurav Shakti Prabhu is here and then you're praising somebody like me, oh my god. You should praise Gaurav Shakti Prabhu and Bhakta Jad. They are the preachers. See, I'm
They're
born in
actually in
India.
Goloka Vrindavan.
I'm born in India, but I don't preach. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says about this. He says
Prabhu,
that
you always preach
Paropakara.
to kneel every day, Prabhu.
No. What is this? La? Anyway,
You always advise him about prasadam and everything, about school, so that he should leave school and go to the temple.
I'm just brainwashing him, that's all. Maybe his parents may be angry with me.
And usually, Prabhu, I don't know if you know, there was a quote where Srila Prabhupada agreed that yes, this is a brainwash. We will brainwash you to be good, to be good. I think it was good devotees, to be civilized, to live like civilized men.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, bro.
There was something like that, but then maybe I'll find it.
Yeah, that's true.
Bhaktajat Prabhu, is it that one? The one, the message, the room conversation.
Actually, yes, Prabhupada so many times he say that yes, this is brainwashing, but at the same time he would say we do not brainwash. There is no brain. How we can brainwash if there is no brain? So it is brain giving movement.
Oh.
And Prabhupada he will be heavy like that for 10 minutes. How you can brainwash? There is no brain to wash. First we give brain, then we wash. So it is a brain giving movement. Then we brainwash. Prabhupada he would say like
Prabhu
that.
today, you're on fire, Prabhu today. Karti Prabhu, Bhaktajat Prabhu.
Actually, one thing I just wanted to
Well,
share is that about the Uttamadhikari, right? Like, of course, Srikant Prabhu said before, the Uttamadhikari has two realizations which the Madhyamadhikari does not have. Or basically, in other words, there are two realizations which is specific only to the pure devotee of the Lord. Those two realizations are when he chants the holy name of the Lord, he is in complete 100% realization that this holy name is not different from Krishna. Second thing is when he sees the deity of the Lord, then he can directly see Krishna. Directly he can see Krishna. He's not working like, for example, when we see, we have to think, oh yes, this is directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead who has come mercifully. But we are not seeing the deity. We're not seeing Krishna. We are trying to work in the consciousness of yes, this is Krishna, but we're not seeing him directly. But the Uttamadhikari, he can see. Directly he can see Krishna face to face. And when he's chanting Hare Krishna, then he knows that this is completely non-different from Krishna. He's these two realizations actually. His grace Nimanita Prabhu also he shared it in his one of his lectures, so I'm just sharing it. I just came to my mind now.
Haribol. Yes.
Haribo, Prabhu. Tell me, Prabhu, we forgot to read the purport of 4.166. 176, sorry.
Who will read?
Me, I'll continue, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Karti Prabhu is blessing me with spiritual nectar here.
Oh, Haribol.
And I actually read a scripture today, Prabhu, but let me read, I'll share. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the absolute truth ever existing with different varieties of energies. When one is absorbed in the illusory energy of Krishna and cannot understand Krishna, one cannot ascertain what is good for him and what is bad. Conceptions of good and bad are all imaginations of or mental speculations. When one forgets that he is an eternal servant of Krishna, he wants to enjoy the material world through different plans. At that time, he distinguishes between material plans that are good and those that are bad. Actually, however, they are all false. Karti Prabhu, I'm going to ban your school. It's bad.
Yes, bro.
Yes, Prabhu. Both good and bad are false.
Actually, there
No.
was this one other purport
What
in
it say?
11th canto, if I'm not wrong, and it states that the Kanishta Adhikari devotee, he cannot criticize the materialist boldly. In fact, sometimes he praises the materialist. And when the other devotees, the senior devotees, are criticizing him for it, they get angry on the senior devotees committing Vaishnava Aparadha. And this perfectly we can see in ISKCON. In ISKCON, when these Indians, they were saying, I'm going to the moon, ISKCON was like, wow, India has achieved something great. And when our devotees are saying this stupid rascal nonsense, why are you doing this, wasting time, they'll be angry. Saying, you're not preaching properly. This was there in a purport in 11th canto, if I'm not wrong. And if I'm not wrong, again, it's stated by Srila Madhvacharya. But anyway, I'm unable to recollect. Maybe
Yes,
Swami Prabhu knows.
yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, you
Like-
remember we were reading like chapter 4, the last verse. Therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapons of knowledge armed with yoga. O son of Bharat, stand and fight. But the judge spoke something in line of that. I forgot what's the chapter, the verse actually.
Word of knowledge.
I'm eating jackfruit.
Oh,
Haribo.
this one?
Semi Prabhu, you forgot to send me the ingredients to.
Oh, yes, Prabhu.
Is it pachati or chapati. I forgot the name.
Pachati ki jai. Yes,
How do
Prabhu.
you pronounce it, bro?
We can call it Pachati, Prabhu.
Yeah.
It sounds like some exotic South African food.
Oh no.
Chapati, Prabhu. Chapati.
Chapati. Oh
So,
yeah.
Prabhu, are you eating this one right now?
Yes, yes, yes.
So, how it tastes?
Karti Prabhu, is it fasting on your side? Are you fasting?
Why are you fasting today?
Oh, I thought like India's fasting today, like Ekadashi is today.
Yesterday.
Yeah, we did it yesterday. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Prabhu, how it tastes? Is it like this?
You can I will see what you're sharing. I think Shrikant Prabhu also. Shrikant Prabhu, you get jackfruit out there. Yes, that one.
Does it taste like pineapple?
They use it as a meat substitute.
Yes, Prabhu,
No, it tastes
we
like
do.
oh, you get in there. Nice,
Yes,
nice.
Prabhu,
Even in
yeah,
Dubai,
it's
I was getting pineapple.
So, can you
right,
compare it
Prabhu.
to
I was
some other
getting
fruit?
yeah. Let me think.
Is it like as sweet as watermelon?
No, no. See, it depends. If you get them, see, this tastes very different. People say the texture. I've never eaten meat, so I don't know. But they say the texture is like meat.
Hmm.
You see, and it is like it is quite sweet, but not like too sweet. It's not like mango level, or it's not like
Oh,
you know,
maybe
not
like
that
honey
much.
melon. Have you tasted honey melon?
It's like muskmelon. Muskmelon, the
Yes,
unripe
Prabhu.
muskmelon, slightly like that.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay.
But I mean, I don't know how to explain. I think Vivek Prabhu can explain or Srikanth Prabhu can explain.
Yes, Prabhu. But does it later become unsweet if they make something like how they make? Because if they make some like meat like product, so is it sweet also, or like what happens?
No, Prabhu. Like,
It tastes like meat.
no, Prabhu.
No, no. If they cook
Ah,
properly, then after
ah.
adding masala, people say it tastes like meat.
Hmm. So it's not so
Oh,
sweet then.
When you cook it, then it tastes like meat. But if you're
Okay.
eating as a fruit, it tastes like a fruit. But
Okay.
with a different consistency. I think Vivek Prabhu knows. I don't eat much actually. I'm just eating now. I think
So
Vivek Prabhu knows.
usually they will eat like fruits. No, they will not make any like any. They will not cook, but they will eat like fruits
yes, Prabhu.
almost. Like Allah. They will like inside the seeds are there. That seeds they will use like potatoes.
Hmm. Yes,
Potatoes they will boil and they will cut and they will eat, na? Like that. It was very nice taste,
you
bro.
were describing. Maybe I will find it.
Good
How
taste.
they eat the seeds actually?
Huh?
How the seeds they cook?
Yes, bro. They will boil the seeds, then they will cut the pieces and they will put on sambar or they will make sabji about that.
Hmm.
Oh, nice. The seeds taste good, huh?
Almost potato.
Almost potato.
Oh,
Hmm.
Oh, is it?
Yes, bro.
I'm throwing all the seeds away. Oh my
No,
god.
no, bro. You can also take
Prabhu,
like you
isn't
can
that watermelon?
boil. Then you can take.
ooh.
Okay. I'll try them. Thank you, Prabhu.
You can search in YouTube or they will give some recipes.
Yeah, YouTube as well. Jackfruit seeds, huh? You just boil, add
Hmm.
some chili powder, add some oil, fry a little bit and take
Like
out.
that. Like that you can take. And it is it is very good also for health.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, bro.
Okay, we'll read Shikshashtakam.
Yes.
Okay, Prabhu, how is everything, Prabhu?
Yes, bro, going good. Nothing.
Nice. Sorry, bro. Cheto datpanamarjanam bhavamaha davagnirvapanam श्रेयकैरवचन्द्रिता वितरणं विद्यावाजुजीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदां पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम्
Namnamakari bahuda nija sarva shaktis tatrarpitanyamita smaranena kalaha etat trishit pravakripan bhagavan mamapi turdaivam edrisham ahajinanuragraha.
तृणादपि सुनिचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानीनामानदेन कीर्तनीयः सदा हरिः
न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरं कवितां वा जगतीश कामये मन जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतात् भक्तिरहेतुके त्वयि
Aindam natanu kinkaram patitamam vishavem bhavamuda कृपया तव पादपङ्कजा स्थितधूलिशतं चिन्तय.
नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदारुद्धया गिरा पुलकैर्निचितं वपुः कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति
युगाहितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रवेशाहितं शून्याहितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दं विरहेण मे.
अश्लिष्यवापादरतं नष्टु मामदर्शनन्मर्महतं करोतु वा यदा तथा वा विरतातुलं पतो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरः. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benedictions to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names, like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of your kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for the.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of all sense of devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others in such a state of mind. One can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal savior, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
O my Lord, when will my speech be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at that recitation of your name?
Oh Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I
I
know
know
no
no
one.
one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.
Shi Haribo.
Rashtakam ki
Shastram ki
jai.
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 Yeah.
First offense to
To
blaspheme the
blaspheme the
devotees who have
devotees.
dedicated their life to the. Yes, bro.
Oh, Maharaj. Me, Maharaj.
Second offense, come on, to
The
consider
names of the
Lord.
demigod.
Damn.
To consider the names of the demigods like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma to be equal, or even the names of the Lord Vishnu.
Haribo.
Disobey the orders of the
Disobey.
spiritual master. Third offense.
Yes.
To
Both
consider
scriptures or scriptures in preference to the Vedic version.
fifth, to give some no. Fifth, to consider the
To
chanting of
give some
Hare
interpretations to the holy name of the Lord.
Haribo.
Prabhu, to give some sinful, I forgot it, Prabhu. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name.
But did you say both 5 and 6?
Yes, Prabhu. I said five.
Yeah, I think Amit Prabhu did said six.
Yes, Prabhu.
Haribo.
Bhaktajat Prabhu, where are you, Prabhu?
Eighth offense.
Haribo. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities. Karma Kanda.
9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name.
Haribo.
Haribo.
Tenth, do not have complete faith in the holy name of the complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success Krishna Prema.
Let us offer humble obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are just like desired trees, who can fulfill all desires and are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Mancha kalpatarubhya Nanda Gaudiya Vaishnava ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura
Jai,
Prema.
jai.
Haribo.
How are you,
Thank you
Bhaktajat
so much,
Prabhu?
Swami Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kartik Prabhu.
Thank you
Sun is
so much.
shining
Bhaktajat
in
Always
Prabhu.
Canada.
Prabhupada. I believe now. Haribo.
Haribo.
Thank you.